Hey, Robert, how's it going? Here we
It's
are,
going.
episode two.
Yep. Welcome back.
And yeah, yeah, welcome back, everybody. Last episode we kind of talked about origins. We kind of were in the past. And today we want to kind of share a project that we've been talking about with you. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. So, the whole idea, I think that it would be interesting if we made a movie with all of the child stars from the past, and not just child stars, but kids that were told they were the one. You are the one. Okay. So now we're getting into Jake Lloyd. We're getting into John Connor, aka Edward Furlong. Um, and I'm not so sure we know exactly where we want the movie to go or what we want it to be. We have this idea, right? But I'll uh, I'll give that to you now, Robert.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be kind of a exploratory story where you know, we just sort of follow them and you know, see how the fame has changed them and we can make references to the old movies like Star Wars and Terminator, but really just see what it's like for those characters because both of them have had a really rough time in Hollywood and outside of Hollywood. Jake Lloyd has had a lot of mental illness issues, and Edward Furlong has also had some tough times. And yeah, we just want to make it kind of like a road movie, seeing where they go and um, you know
Yeah, and
as millennial, or I guess Furlong's a little bit older, but just sort of like being in your 40s and not really being part of Hollywood anymore, and just trying to make a living and trying to not always relive the glory days.
well, and see, that's the whole thing. Are they playing themselves or are they these completely different characters? They're probably completely different characters, and then we would do these nods or these winks, maybe, to kind of what they were involved with. I don't know. What were you thinking, Robert?
Well, I think that they should be different. They should be just regular guys trying to make a living, and you know, maybe we encounter them, Eric and I, as characters in the film as well. I say, hey, aren't you guys those guys? And they always deny it. Sort of like Airplane with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not the. No, I'm whatever. I'm the pilot. I'm
It's
not.
not
I'm not.
me. I'm the co-pilot.
Yeah, yeah. So, but
Yeah, but and what? I had the idea like, okay, if we're bringing in these two, what? We need to get Macaulay Culkin. Like, okay, he was never the one, but for a lot of us 90s kids growing up, he was the one. We
right, right, and he's also the most successful one.
yeah, he'd probably be the hardest get if this
mhm,
were to happen.
yeah.
Yeah, and
But
then it tickles the mind a little bit more, and we're like, okay, so not a starring role, but we would need to have like Haley Joel Osment, pop up. There's somebody that they encounter along their road trip. Uh,
yeah,
and okay, slightly bigger names, maybe slightly harder gets. But at the
yeah,
same time, I feel like this could be a movie. Like,
yeah. And we could also maybe put in Ricky Schroeder and Alfonso Ribeiro, kind of the comic relief, silver spoons. They're just other other guys who just have not, after their big hits are just kind of collecting their checks and doing, Dancing with the Stars and whatnot. But I think that would be a funny.
see,
There,
and that would be great. We haven't really seen that in a movie yet, where it's like, okay, it's Dancing with the Stars, and it's like the same production and everything, but like it's fake. It's created by filmmakers, right? We
right,
haven't seen that yet, and it will happen, whether it's us or somebody else that does it.
right.
But yeah, I mean the whole idea of like, Anakin Skywalker, John Connor, and they're on this road trip and they're not who we ever thought that they would be. John Connor isn't the leader of the worldwide resistance. Anakin Skywalker, he hasn't, that was taken over by Hayden Christensen, okay? Like,
Right. And Christian Bale and I can't even remember the other guy who played John Connor. But yeah, they kind of, they were kind of the cute kids, and they were the originals, and then they kind of got left by the wayside, and now
yes,
they're just waiting for Hollywood to call them back, or just trying to
right.
get
Well,
away
no, no,
from.
no, no. People chiming in, they might be like, "Oh, this is a joke," or "No, this isn't a joke." Like, I literally believe that this thing could actually happen, and
Maybe they could be
I,
trying to beat up or warn Timothy Chalamet not to do this, not to be the it boy in Hollywood. That could be, going after any particular popular star, and just saying, hey, it's very fleeting, and you want to have another trade or something, like
right. No, 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 no. This is gonna be my forever, bro. Like, I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be doing this until the end of time. Is that realistic?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's playing into that kind of stuff. And you had brought up earlier that it could be like a road movie. Imagine Edward Furlong today and Jake Lloyd today, and they're like buddies on a road trip, and crazy kind of things happen along the way. Maybe that's
Mm,
room or where our cameos, if we were to get them, could kind of, come into play.
mm,
But
yeah.
let's face it, Jake Lloyd, Edward Furlong, they frequent the Comic-Con scene, so they're not necessarily that hard to talk to. Granted, are they the ones we should be talking with, or should it be, their agents? And as you've pointed out before, Jake Lloyd, he hasn't acted probably since that first Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I think he's done some documentaries about what it was like, but yeah, in terms of
Mm,
playing a character and whatnot, yeah, he's really kind of left that behind. Although I think he did go to film school. I think he was trying
yeah,
to figure out what what his career was going to be.
Yeah, I think he wanted to be a director, just like
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
But
yeah, and then maybe we could be inspiring them to be directors. Maybe they're normal guys, and this is sort of like they're not Jake Lloyd and uh, Edward Furlong, but maybe they're like they've hit 40 and they don't know what they want to do with their lives, and say, well, have you ever considered acting or directing? And then it's just sort of like, and then we have our issues with making getting big budgets or whatever, but they could be like really, maybe Furlong knows uh, something about Tesla because it's sort of like the Terminator, like Skynet, and so it's like, yeah, I play the stock market, and I could
see,
fund
and then
you.
there's something there where you can, even if they're not, John Connor, say Edward Furlong's name is, you know Edward Hickby, and um uh Anakin Skywalker's name is Daniel,
Jason Lewis.
yeah, Jason Lewis, and they're just, they don't know what they want out of life, or they don't, how did we end up here, man, type thing. But then it could be that, pull back the layers to kind of,
Right.
well,
And
no,
it
like,
would be nice if they were unlikely saviors once again, like maybe they do have to go up against a Lex Luthor, Elon Musk type on
that
the
would be
road
the
trip.
whole point. That would be the whole
Right.
point. They need to fight Skynet again, or they need to, kind of, be this force within, the Republic, or whatever, with Star Wars.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's certainly an exciting idea, and I feel like, you know, it's at its infancy. We're literally just kind of talking about it, but whether they come to you first or they come to me first, in terms of Comic Cons, like, I feel that's the place to talk. And a deal or something might not happen right then and there, but oh, talk with my agent, here's my agent's number, da 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 da. But what does that mean, Robert? We're going to need to have a script, because they're not,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we'll do your movie.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not just,
They'll want some some meat,
yeah,
some
something a
red
little,
meat,
yeah, something tangible,
they'll
something
want,
like,
and they'll want money. They'll be like, hey,
yeah,
are you pulling our leg? Are you trying to just
yeah,
jerk
no,
us
exactly.
around? And
No, exactly.
you
And
know,
if it's something we're serious about, and if it's like, it would be a feature, this would not be a short film. Yeah, they would need to be paid. What they what's not necessarily what they want to be paid, but what is adequate for, something like this.
right?
Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah,
they're
no, I feel it can, like, bring them slightly more to the forefront. I mean, but at the same time, it's not even really about that. It's not like this comeback story. It's like, you know, it's kind of using what they had in their past, and kind of, and hopefully it would be good, type. Yeah, no, that's what it's all about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did you have any cinematographers in mind or any other crew?
No, yeah, there are two cinematographers that I could think of right now that I'm sure would be highly interested, and they're both really reputable in their own right. And they've worked on some big things. Granted, they haven't been like the DP of that project. But see, maybe a project like this could even, you know, be a chance for them,
Hmm.
to
Yeah,
kind of
I think we
correct
have to
some
build it
stuff.
from the ground up. I mean, I think we have to have the crew and the script and all that stuff together. So it's just like you're saying, hey, you know what, we're hot and we're ready to go.
Right.
Just sign the contract and
Mhm.
we'll get you guys back in the spotlight. So
Right.
maybe that's sort of the planning that we should be doing. Writing the script and talking to our crew, and we just
No, that's what we
we
need.
go fund me it.
To have
Yeah.
the idea, is one thing, but it's like, okay, well, how are we going to get the idea kind of made? We literally need to have a script. I mean, they're not going to say yes without a script.
Right. Right.
What am I signing up for? You're going to pay me,
Right.
however much you're going to pay me, but what am I signing up for?
Right. Yeah.
But no, I mean, and what does that mean? You know, we've got our work cut out for us. We need to work on that slowly but surely type thing.
Mhm.
And yeah, there was I was watching a YouTube video recently, and somebody in the YouTube video, and it made me kind of say out loud, like, God damn it, because they said, like, oh, wouldn't that be great if they did a movie where it was like, the forgotten child stars, and their pitch was completely different, so it kind of made me retract my God damn it. Uh, but other people are thinking about this too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Maybe not in the same kind of way or wavelength, but
Mhm.
you know, um,
And we could, depending on how bad taste we want to go, we could do like AI to bring back Gary Coleman and the Little Rascals. They could be going through hell, and just seeing, if you guys don't make this movie, this is your fate. You're gonna be you're just gonna be
okay.
reanimated in
I,
20
I don't
years.
know. I don't know if I would want to go as far as AI, but like some sort of CG where the
Yeah.
artist is being paid to kind of.
Mm.
I would be completely open to something like that. But uh,
I'm just thinking of like the going back to like the Flash movie where they brought back Christopher Reeve and Adam West and George
but what
Reeves
kind of
and
what kind of backlash did the Flash movie?
yeah, well, that's true, but it's just sort of like you want to throw everything in the kitchen sink in there,
Yeah, and like,
just
to be fair, there was that movie. It was called Late Night with the Devil, and they relied on AI for some of their graphics, some of their imagery. Um, and people too. All you AI haters out there. James Cameron, he said it's going to be a tool. This is going to be something that we use in the future, and it's going to be beneficial more than it's going to be detrimental. Mhm. Um, but I think Robert, we've kind of shared our idea. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and let us know in the comments if you think that this would be something you'd want to see, or if you think that this would like even be viable. Let us know, talk to us, engage with us. We want to hear you.
Mhm.
um do you have anything else, Robert?
um just that you know give us give us some fun things to do on the road. You know, what can these guys accomplish, and what can their struggles be? You
Uh-huh.
know.
Yeah, what's the best idea based on what we've kind of given? What do you think? What would you want to see?
Mhm. All right.
Yeah, I think that wraps up, this episode, and we'll see you again next week.